The Big Bang is one of the most fundamental scientific theories in history. Not only does it theorize the birth of the universe, but it also provides the underpinning for the understanding of who we are as a people and where we came from in this universe. The theory is so popular that in recent years it has transcended the scientific community and has made its way into digital media through the likes of the widely popular Big Bang Theory TV show. Whether you believe it or not, the Big Bang Theory has dramatically impacted the world. However, what if I told you that a recent discovery has wholly debunked the theory, sending scientists and industry experts into a panic as they desperately try to find answers? Buckle up, as today we will be taking you through the recent James Webb Telescope images and the implications they have on our beloved theory. This is space travel. Let's get into the video. One of the most beautiful things about science is that, at times, some of the brightest minds in the world can be wrong. While terrifying, this aspect ultimately drives the industry to new heights and innovation. Scientists constantly try to prove and disprove one another in pursuing knowledge and understanding. However, one of the most polarizing complexities of the scientific industry is how the universe came to fruition in the first place. Until the middle of the 20th century, this was largely speculative and lacked concrete understanding. That was, however, until an English astronomer named Fred Hoyle revived the unorthodox theory during a 1949 BBC radio broadcast. Fred lightly touched on the hypothesis that all matter in the universe was created in one singular moment, which he coined the Big Bang. Despite the groundbreaking nature of this theory, it sparked almost zero interest from the public. It wasn't until the 1970s, just over 20 years later, that the idea would gain traction within the world of traditional media through the likes of Roger Penrose, Stephen Hawking, and George Ellis. The Big Bang Theory stems from various views and scientists that have been consolidated into the perplexing notion that the universe did begin with a bang. As of 2022, the Big Bang Theory has primarily been rooted in fact and reality, with widespread media and the general populace pushing the idea as proven. However, such is the way of science. Recent technological advances have opened up the theory to scrutiny, although none have caused as much controversy as the recent James Webb Telescope images. In a nutshell, the Big Bang Theory, or BBT for short, hypothesizes that the universe began at a single point around 13.7 billion years ago, and then expanded and stretched to grow to the size it is now. Contrary to popular belief, the BBT does not push the idea of a giant fiery explosion, but instead the gradual and perpetual expansion of space itself. The theory is primarily based on three pillars of evidence, which are the measured abundances of elements, the observed expansion of space, and the discovery of the cosmic microwave background, otherwise known as CMB. To the average person, any image from the James Webb Telescope won't leave much room for the imagination. The pictures are breathtaking, as they ironically provide a surface-level glimpse into an otherwise deep universe. However, to the trained mind, these pictures offer a different perspective. And so, on the 12th of July, when the James Webb organization posted these pictures online for the public, scientists worldwide were perplexed to see an unusual amount of small, smooth, and old galaxies. What has followed since is an onslaught of papers that delve into the oddities seen in the pictures, with one of the more popular papers beginning with the words "panic." You might be wondering why these seemingly innocent pictures are causing such a stir within the scientific industry. In a nutshell, they blatantly contradict the primary theses of the BBT, that the universe is still expanding. The pictures have caused such a panic within the scientific community that Alison Kirkpatrick, an astronomer from the University of Kansas in Lawrence, reported that she could not sleep after hearing the news. The reason for this, as previously stated, is that the galaxies in the pictures are unusually small, smooth, and, most importantly, old. Regarding the observable universe, objects become smaller as they get further away. However, based on the theory of an expanding universe, distant galaxies will actually look bigger relative to a further distance. This is because, as the universe expands, the light emitted from the distant galaxies appears to spread out, creating an optical illusion. However, the JWST images show galaxies getting smaller and smaller, so much so that galaxies with greater luminosity and mass than ours look comparatively smaller. This is a direct contradiction to what is expected based on the BBT. Based on these findings, one can reasonably conclude that the universe is, in fact, not expanding, which is what scientists around the world have been pushing for, years after the Hubble Space Telescope discovered similar findings back in 2014. Another theory appropriated within the Big Bang hypothesis is that modern-day galaxies are the accumulation of much smaller galaxies colliding with one another. This is to be expected within an ever-expanding universe as, over time, galaxies are expected to collide with one another amidst the ongoing expansion. When this happens, galaxies consolidate into one giant mess of galaxies. An excellent analogy for this merger is to imagine a small toy car colliding into many other cars to create a full-sized model. With enough effort, the outcome may resemble a full-sized car. However, it wouldn't look the same as a well-manufactured model. Regarding JWST, the galaxies in the pictures are incredibly smooth and well-formed, leading scientists to believe that they were not created through the combination of much smaller galaxies, which contradicts the theory of an expanding universe once again. Most of the galaxies were incredibly smooth, with extremely neat spiral forms, so much so the result was 10 times more smooth than galaxies previously expected. While this discovery certainly impacts the BBT, it completely decimates the galaxy merging theory, because based on current understanding, there is no plausible method for some galaxies to grow to the size they are, which is sometimes 100 times bigger than other galaxies within the universe. This, combined with the small-scale galaxies in the pictures, has put the BBT under extreme scrutiny. However, neither discovery contradicts the Big Bang theory's plausibility more than the age of the galaxies found within the images. Last, but certainly not least, we have the relative age of some of the discovered galaxies. In theory, anything found within the universe shouldn't predate the existence of the Big Bang, as that would undoubtedly collapse the foundation of the idea in the first place. Well, the JWST pictures did precisely that. Scientists use advanced infrared technology to run the images through a spectrum, allowing them to determine the relative age of stars, planets, and galaxies. Blue colors typically represent an extremely hot and young age, while red colors signify cooler temperatures at old age. The process is highly complex. However, the results are relatively simple. According to the BBT, the universe is around 13.7 billion years old, which means that anything found within the universe shouldn't predate that. However, the JWST tells a different tale. The images have led to the discovery of galaxies 13.2 billion years old, with stellar populations that predate the galaxy's existence by over 1 billion years, meaning these stellar populations predate the BBT by almost 500 million years. Based on these findings, one can reasonably assume again that the Big Bang did not happen as we think it did. While this discovery completely shocked a large majority of the scientific community, there is a large group who are not surprised at all. Many schools of thought have been continually working to debunk the BBT since its conception in the early 20th century. And so these images and findings laid a solid foundation, which resulted in the BBT being put under scrutiny from some of the best minds in the world. The result is that over 16 BBT predictions were debunked entirely, and only one was proven with the JWST images, a groundbreaking milestone in the history of scientific discovery. Based on these images, there are a variety of wrong predictions relative to the BBT, including, but not limited to, a miscalculation for the abundance of helium and lithium, the existence of structures that are too large and dense to have been formed post-Big Bang, misrepresentation for the density of matter, and a variety of problems related to the asymmetries of the cosmic microwave background. Based on the BBT, none of this should exist, yet it does. What's most interesting is that, despite this groundbreaking discovery, major media outlets are yet to report on what has happened. Unfortunately, in modern society, the BBT has become intrinsic to who we are and our understanding of the universe around us. With so much that we don't understand, the BBT stands as a foundation for how we see the world and the immense size of the universe around us. Like it or not, the BBT has now transcended the realms of science into the world of modern media and culture as a coping mechanism for the reality of our existence. Before these images came into existence, funding for studies that go against the BBT were vastly underfunded or were often wholly neglected in the first place. However, it is now impossible to refute the reality that the BBT is wrong. Finally, after all these years, the scientific analysis of the birth of the universe can be cracked upon once more, so we can truly understand the origins of who we are and where we came from. As, unbeknownst to many, we are made of the same matter that created the stars, and so, whether you realize it or not, we are the universe. There you have it, a complete breakdown of the recent events that have put the Big Bang Theory under scrutiny. Do you think the BBT will outlast these images, or should we expect something else in the future? Let us know in the comments section below, as we would love to hear from you. But before you go, make sure to like and subscribe so that we can continue providing you with up-to-date scientific information. This is Space Travel, and until next time, we wish you all the best. Thanks for watching.